Oh boy, let's see if I can ditch Discord. My requirements are fairly straightforward. I just want a text chat with the ability to embed media attachments such as videos and photos. If it's a 10 megabyte limit, that's totally fine. I want voice chat support, and I want to be able to share or stream my games with at least 720p 30 on the video quality. A hard requirement for me is screen sharing on Linux being actually good. It was terrible on Discord for a very long time, then eventually Desktop fixed things, it actually was good, and then a little bit later Discord finally had good Linux screen sharing. Lastly, there needs to be a mobile app for both Android and iOS. And lastly, here's some nice to haves. Ideally, I'd want it to be open source, but it doesn't have to be. I do want some voice chat suppression, and ideally there'd be a search in the client, but this isn't necessary because Discord search has gotten pretty bad lately, so I'm kind of mad on this. Encryption, I'm kind of mixed on, because if it's a public server, I don't really care. If it's a private server, that would be a nice. I don't expect this out of the gate, but it would be cool if the mobile apps could also view the screen shares from desktop. Alright, so let's take a look at those alternatives. So Discourse is immediately out because there's no screen sharing support. Stoat has screen sharing support supposedly in development. Revolt Chat, known as Stoat now, is the one that I see being pushed a lot around online. Unfortunately, if you go actually look at the repos, the Android app hasn't been updated in 3 months, and if you look at the Voice Chats 2.0, that also hasn't been updated in 9 months, so that's pretty much a dead repo here. Interestingly, they are not distributing this on F-Droid, they're not distributing any APKs directly in the Releases tab, and it's only available on Google Play. Very weird, so I'm not liking this. If I go look at some of the issues, there's people reporting that some people can't even access Stoat without having a Wi-Fi connection, and I was able to reproduce this. What's happening here is some DNS providers, so some phone providers, if you're on like say Verizon in the US, you might not even be able to go to the Stoat website because for some reason they don't have a record of the site, so you're never going to be able to connect to the chat, so that's a huge red flag right there. I went ahead and downloaded the mobile app on my phone, and you cannot connect to voice chats at all on Android, so I don't know what happened to this, why it's abandoned, but it's been months, so I'm not really expecting this app to go anywhere. Regarding the activity on the Android app, the weird issue with the DNS records, really the no screen sharing, and it's been years, I can't recommend Stoat. Alright, number 3 on the list is Root App. So it looks like they have video calls, they have screen sharing, they have pretty much everything that I want right off the bat, except this is a centralized platform. It's not fully open source. If you skim through their privacy policy, it's really nothing too nefarious. It's the typical stuff Discord does already. There's an app image officially supported, so I went ahead and downloaded that. If I go ahead and run the app image here, looks pretty decent. It's similar to Discord. They have a tab system for the servers that you can create. Different text channels here. They have the voice channels, and I will join one real quick. Alright, so I'm in the voice channel now, you can see me talking, so pretty nice UI, pretty similar to Stoat, except a little more polished in my opinion. If I go ahead and try to share my screen, looks like they do have 720p at 30, except, how do I actually share my screen, you may be asking, and that's a great question, because it turns out, as soon as I do this, I actually crash the app, so it is making my GPU spin up, but it doesn't actually do anything. So I guess we're just cooked on the screen sharing, so maybe that page that says, oh, screen sharing works, should say it doesn't actually work yet. And I've completely crashed the client again. So as you can see here, it's frozen. I click around and it's cooked. Alright, if you're not familiar with Linux, with app images, you are supposed to be able to do this, where you make an app image folder name and then you call it .home. So what this will do is effectively make this app image portable, and it should dump all of its configs into here. So if I go ahead and run it, what's going on? Nothing is happening. I do it again, nothing is happening. Okay, so that's a little bit weird. Why is it not launching? So if I go ahead and delete this folder and reopen it again, suddenly it launches. So that is not standard app image behavior, that's very weird, so a little bit of a red flag there. Probably nothing malicious, because I noticed in my documents folder there's a .local folder, share applications, and it's actually related to the root app. So what I think really is happening is they messed something up with the app image and they're incorrectly checking for documents instead of this is supposed to be in your home folder. Their mobile app is pretty solid for Android, I'll give them that, but this is pretty basic stuff, so if this isn't working, I'm afraid it's done. Goodbye, root. Okay, so that's a little disappointing. The top 3 options are no longer available to us. Well, no screen sharing, so that one's out. And then we reached Matrix and TeamSpeak. Fortunately, with the way licensing works for TeamSpeak, that's not really something I'm interested in. And Matrix, oh boy. So I've used Element specifically with Matrix for a very long time. Now, Rocket Chat seems pretty nice, but unfortunately, just like TeamSpeak, not a huge fan of how their licensing works, and I haven't bothered trying the rest. I'm gonna keep an eye out to see if Stoat goes anywhere, but at a glance, a little bit concerned with the state of the development and the apps. Now you gotta remember, Stoat, or Revolt Chat as it was known, has been around for a long time, so it's been 5 years, so yeah, I don't exactly have faith in this getting any better, but you know, prove me wrong, internet, I would love to use it. In conclusion, unfortunately, my takeaway is the only real two options right now are Stoat, which, yeah, not looking good, and Matrix is really only the other viable alternative that's feature-ready in my opinion. It's a little bit sluggish compared to Discord if you're using the main centralized server. If you host your own server, it'll probably be a little bit better. That said, I know I didn't elaborate much on it. Give it a try, and I'll just be keeping an eye out for alternatives